let's see how to quickly set up WordPress in Docker. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to hub.docker.com, just like this. And here from the search box, we are going to look for WordPress. And here it is, and from the results here, we're going to choose this one, the one that simply says WordPress, and you can see that it has over 1 billion downloads. This is the one we want. Then we need to scroll down a bit, and if we go here, we can see this via Docker Compose. So I'm simply going to copy this content. And now I'm going to open Visual Studio Code. Of course, you can use any text editor. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. And notice that I already opened the folder in which I want to work in which I want to create my folder in Visual Studio Code. So do that, open the folder that you want to use. And then we're going to create here a new file. And we need to call this file compose.yml. Just like this, compose.yml. And here I'm going to paste the code we just copied from the WordPress Docker image page. So this is what we just copied, and now we have it here, and we're almost done, we're almost ready. So let's quickly go over it. We can see that we basically have here two services, one for WordPress, another one for the database. So we're going to end up with two containers, one from the WordPress image, another one for the database, which is going to be based on MySQL 8. And this is completely fine, it works really well. So when we run this file, two containers will be created. The first one is going to be based on the WordPress image. We have here restart always. And here we can see port forwarding, which means that we will access the WordPress container using this port 8080, and it is mapped to port 80 inside the container. So port 8080 on the host and port 80 on the container. And then we have here a few environment variables. And here we're defining the host for the database. Now, in a normal environment, this is equivalent to the IP address of the database server, but here it's simply another container. So this is going to be DB, which is exactly this container, the other container, the database container. Then we have another environment variable defining the user for the database, and their default code just uses example user. And notice that it must match what we have here, because here we are creating this user on MySQL, and here we are letting WordPress know that this is the database user, right? This is the user that it needs to use to connect to the database, and the same thing for the password. So here we are defining, and here we are letting WordPress know that this is the password that it needs to use to connect to this user. And in a similar fashion, we're also defining here the database itself, the name of the database. So here we are defining this database. Here it will be created. And here we are letting WordPress know that this is the MySQL database that it needs to use. And one more thing that I want you to notice is the volumes. So we have a volume here, we have a volume here, and here we define these two volumes. And what this does is letting our work be persistent. So because we are using volumes, even if we are now starting our containers and later on we will stop them and then we will recreate them, restart them, the information will not be lost. If we don't use volumes, then everything will be saved on the local file system of the container. And whenever we turn off the container, if we start a new one later, it will be like from scratch. Everything will be deleted. But because we are using volumes here, then we can turn down the container. We can start it again later, and it will keep using the same information. And it goes both for the WordPress container and also for the MySQL container. One more thing I want to use is PHPMyAdmin, because it's a very popular tool that a lot of developers use when working with WordPress. And if we want PHPMyAdmin, it's pretty simple. All we need to do here is add another service for PHPMyAdmin. So let me write it here. And here, let me just copy this because this is going to be very similar. So let me paste here these three lines that I just copied. And the image is simply going to be PHPMyAdmin, unsurprisingly. Restart, I'm going to restart always. And then we need to define a few environment variables. So now I'm going here, let's go back to the top. And here in the search box, I'm going to look for PHPMyAdmin. So here, PHPMyAdmin. And here it is among the results. This is the first one, so PHPMyAdmin. And if we scroll down here, so yeah, a bit more, here we can see this, environment variables summary. So first we need this PMA host, and this is basically the host name for the MySQL server. So this is the first one that we're going to define, and its value is going to be DB, right? Because this is the container for the database itself. So this is our host. Next up is this one, PMA user and PMA password. So let's copy these two. And unsurprisingly, they define the user and password for MySQL. PHPMyAdmin needs this information, of course, in order to connect to our database, to our MySQL database. So let's define these two. Here I'm going to add them. So PMA user and PMA password. And PMA user, of course, is going to be the user, which is example user. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. And PMA password is going to be the password. So let's copy the password from here and paste it here. And one last thing that I want to make sure that I'm not forgetting is the ports, right? Just like we had ports for WordPress, I also want to use port forwarding for this new container, for the PHPMyAdmin container. So let's add this here. And this is what's going to allow us to connect to the PHPMyAdmin container. But because 8080, this port is already taken for WordPress itself, we need to choose some other port. For example, it can be 8081 or any other port that you choose. I'll go with 8081. And this is about it. So now we're going to start everything. So let me open my terminal. And you simply need to run docker compose app. And you can also add -d if you want it to run in the background. So let's run this. And now it's bringing all of the containers. For me, it does it very quickly because I already pulled these images before. In your case, it might take a few more minutes. But once it's done, it's basically up. And remember to give it a minute, because it might take a minute for the MySQL container to spin up and create the user you defined here. So it's not like instantaneous. It takes maybe 20, 30 seconds. But once you're done with that, you should be able to access this port, the 8080 port, and this should immediately connect you to your WordPress instance. So let's try to open here in the web browser our WordPress instance. And to do that, I'm going to go to localhost at port 8080. So let's do that. And you can see the WordPress installation page. Let's click on continue. Let's fill in the details. And we can now install WordPress. And this is done. We can now log in. And let me type in the user that I created along with the password. And let's log in. And our new WordPress website is ready for use. Let's now try to go to localhost at port 8081. So localhost at 8081. And we're now connected to PHPMyAdmin. And here we can see our example DB, which is exactly the database that we created for WordPress. And here we can see all of the WordPress tables.